Hi, parents. I wanted to talk to you today about practicing. Now, this can be kind of a touchy subject, and I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about practicing tips and things like that. I have 8 kids. I make them all take music lessons. I make them all practice, and I am a pretty good practice troubleshooter. So if you would like some help in that arena, I'm happy to kind of give you some suggestions. Um, what I really want to just mention today is just kind of an important fact I think everyone should be aware of. Um, I'm just going to share my screen with you. There it is. I couldn't find it. I have too many things open. So this is called the curve of forgetting. Now, if you look at this black line, this represents, well, it represents the curve of forgetting. So after a 1 hour class or lesson, your child has gained 100% of the knowledge that has been passed on in lessons. So they're right here. So after the second day, look at this. So it's about 60 to 80% of the information that anybody, whether it's an adult or child, has learned during a lesson is gone by the second day. And by the end of the week, it's pretty much out of there, like forever. I can tell when the kids don't practice because they come to me and we have the exact same lesson that we had the previous week. And I'm not sure everybody's aware of this. So if you look at the yellow line, so this includes um, if you can just take 10 minutes on the second day to review the information, and then kind of it's really 10 minutes a day for the first week, and then 5 minutes a day after that. You kind of you remember what we talked about, and so it's really important if there is just 1 or 2 days that you can practice. Really, the very best time is the same day as your lesson, right after your lesson, not before. And then the following day, because that will just kind of help seal it in your memory. And anytime you have a gap of more than a day or two, you start to lose a lot of information. And that's why I try not to let my kids go longer than 1 day off to practice. Sometimes kids will just practice like the day before their lesson, and by then they've already forgotten everything. And so it's a huge struggle for them to practice right before their lesson because they don't really remember what we talked about. They don't remember the rhythm patterns that we worked out. They don't remember, the little fingerings that we worked out. So it's almost, they don't really even get anything out of it if they wait that long. But if they could just take, shorter amounts of time just to review that throughout the week, they're going to remember. And not only that, but if they can take 30 minutes or even an hour a day in practice, so they're not only remembering what we talked about, but they are mastering that information, and then we can learn new stuff. So if I'm assigning a piece out of a lesson book, I usually assign a couple of them. They should have that mastered when they come back. They should have it all the way mastered. We'll talk about a couple of things, a couple of ways they can improve, and then we should learn new pieces that the kids who aren't practicing. We do the same thing for months and months, and if that's where you are in your family, that's okay. I'm not trying to say that that's wrong or that's bad or cast judgment, but what we probably need to do is talk about really ultimately what your goals are, what your children's goals are, what your goals are for them to be in music lessons, because it's kind of discouraging for them to do the same thing week after week, and it's not really super fun. It's not really fun for me either. So maybe we need to think about taking a different approach and kind of doing more music appreciation or doing easier things. I usually don't assign them a piece that's way above their skill level. I always give them things that they could easily accomplish with just a little bit of hard work. But I know that everybody's in a different place. So drop me a line, send me an email or a text if you want to talk through some of this, or if you want ways, maybe some suggestions how we can kind of maybe um, tweak your family schedule better so we make sure we're getting this all in. Because I do think, that your children will get a really good sense of accomplishment when they're working hard to achieve a goal. And music is a gift that they'll have forever. And so I tell my kids that this is the most important thing that they can do all day. And so if they don't get anything else done during the day, but they practice music, that's fine. That's fine. For me, it's the most important thing, not the least important thing. If they grow up, they might never translate another phrase in French. They might never uh, solve another algebraic equation, or they might, depending on their interests or careers. But music is something they can have forever, whether they're a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, or a plumber. They will have that forever. And I want them to be able to sit down at the end of a long day and play the piano or pick up their violin and do that. And so, anyway, getting down off my soapbox, let me know your thoughts on this so we can kind of maybe work together to come up with a plan for your family. All right. Take care, everyone.